Okay, kids, it's time for today's special gathering of the loyal fan club of the Battery-Operated Magic Toupee, the podcast. Okay, junior loyal Bat-Op Mac Toopers, it's time to take the Battery-Operated Magic Toupee oath of loyalty. Repeat after me. I do solemnly swear... No, that wasn't a cue for you to start swearing. Stop using that language. I do solemnly swear, Jesus Christ. I've heard the F word, the C word, but the H and W word. What toilet potty mouth from hell did you learn those swear words from? Now repeat. I do solemnly swear. Will you stop swearing? Just say, I solemnly swear. Don't actually start swearing, you Tourette's-ridden dunce. I do solemnly swear. Oh my God, that's it. Just say okay, that's it. Never mind. This meeting of the Battery-Operated Magic Toupee, the podcast fan club, canceled. Another meeting aborted like you should have been. My life is a sham. The Battery-Operated Magic Toupee, the podcast. Journey to dimensions of existence even more moronic and idiotic than ours. Alternative universes of such stupidity that we've constructed. The Battery-Operated Magic Toupee. Warning! The following comedy is intended for mature audiences and for those not easily offended. If you're of a delicate disposition and offend easily, for example, if we refer to you as a silly cunt, we recommend stop listening immediately, cancel us now, and fuck off.
Welcome to View a Review, where the film Fatties, myself, Stanley, and my friend Harold. We're the film Fatties, and we're going to view a classic feature film and review it right here.
What are we watching today, Stan?
Today we're going to view and review director Stanley Kubrick's 1972 classic masterpiece, A Clockwork Orange, starring the incomparable Malcolm McDowell. So we're just about to have our view, and we're sitting on the sofa with all our supplies. We each have 2 colossal grande-sized popcorns. I have 5 big, beefy, super king-sized clobber burgers with cheese, pastrami, bacon, and extra Jewish, which is slang for gefilte fish and pickled herring on the top.
And I'm having 6 super king-sized clobber burgers with extra Japanese. That's a raw egg and raw fish on top.
And we got our super deluxe gobble gop sodas. Mine is orange, multi-sticky for that extra thick artificial syrupy taste.
And I'm having a choco fudge cola with extra sugar.
And we have our deluxe super-sized candy boxes with extra chocolate Google Pots double-decker bars, a jumbo bag of assorted Gobble Fritz treats, and a super deluxe Gorgo-sized popcorn. I'm having caramel buttered popcorn with extra artificial buttery goodness.
And I'm gonna chomp away on the custard-flavored popcorn with sugar-coated pork rinds.
And Harold, I see you brought a few pizzas with you.
I did. Special surprise, Stan.
What a wonderful treat. Let's switch on the remote. Harold, would you switch the remote on? Your fingers are less greasy than mine.
You've already started on the buttered chocolate balls.
Guilty. Now, let's watch the film masterpiece, A Clockwork Orange. Oh, the film stopped playing. How long did it stop? Pass a napkin.
Napkins don't work. Use the bath towel. What happened?
I think some of the hot chocolate marshmallow sauce got on the remote control. Yeah, it's not working. Well, anyway, we reviewed a bit of A Clockwork Orange. What did you think of the bit of the Clockwork Orange that you saw?
Well, delicious viewing experience. Reminds me of 2 weeks ago when we reviewed another great sci-fi classic, Time After Time, also with Malcolm McDowell and the legendary great David Warner. The Crunch Munch Double Caramel chocolate bar I ate during that scene where McDowell as H.G. Wells discovers that David Warner is actually Jack the Ripper. Simply scrumptious.
I don't remember Jack the Whippo in that.
You were rescuing your chocolate marshmallow crunchy. It broke and you were getting it out of your lap. You were dealing with real crumbling and meltage. As I said, the Crunch Munch Double Caramel Chocolate Bar during A Clockwork Orange. Superb.
I have to disagree with you. I think the real strength of this viewing of A Clockwork Orange was the big, beefy, super king-size Clubber burgers. They mixed the mustard directly with the pickled herring, giving the film the extra touch of googliness.
That's what makes Stanley Kubrick one of the great filmmakers of our time. I still remember the extra hot dog garnish during Dr. Strangelove.
And who can forget the extra salami on the Quinella Meaty Deluxe pizzas during the 2001 A Space Odyssey?
But then again, Stanley Kubrick isn't infallible. Remember all the breakdowns and difficulties with Kubrick's 1962 dark comedy, Lolita.
How can I forget the wrong pizzas were delivered?
Vegetarian.
It was terrible. The chocolate fumblegooks were stale.
Improperly stored.
And by the time the ending came, all the ice had melted in our third big monster gulp drink.
My Tango Orange Syrup Supreme was all watery from the melted ice.
However, for Kubrick's Dr. Strangelove from 1964, all that got handled. It was a wonderful viewing experience.
I remember that. It was daring. Melted milk chocolate on the meat pizzas.
Only Kubrick could be that ahead of his time. Tangy yet sweet and tart at the same time.
I had that same experience 3 weeks ago when we viewed the 1927 silent German expressionistic sci-fi masterpiece Metropolis. If you remember with Metropolis, what made the film the classic it was, they took a giant supreme hot dog, sliced it in half, and then halved it again, coated it in chocolate, deep-fried it, and dropped it in melted peanut sauce on the Monster Deluxe Brew Burger. It was a surprise we weren't expecting.
Unlike Citizen Kane, they call that the greatest film ever made.
Bullshit.
It was just terrible.
Yes, it had that truly unique method of storytelling, the plot device with the rosebud thing, that cinematography by Greg Tolan with the deep focus and the acting.
Wells and Cotton and Sloan.
But a complete train wreck. The refrigerator accidentally unplugged. The burgers went off.
The chocolate-melted pizzas delivered to the wrong address.
You call that a film masterpiece? Corned beef sandwiches on white? Really, Mr. Wells, you should be ashamed of yourself directing such a film with such awful food.
And the sodas were just piss cold.
The closing credits rolled, and I was left hungry.
Well, next week we have a real exciting treat. Harold and I are visiting the Royal Albert Hall, and we're going to view and review a concert. The London Philharmonic preparing Tchaikovsky's masterpiece, the 1812 Overture. And here's a sneak preview of next week's show.
Hold it right there! Stop! This is the end of the sampler! If you want to listen to the rest of this thrilling episode of the Battery-Operated Magic Toupee. Click on the link below, or listen to it on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. And listen to this.
As we gain a higher understanding of stupidity, we gain a deeper understanding of ourselves. Hence we bid farewell to the Battery-Operated Magic Toupee, pooting and spooing and farting thick brown smoke as it dimly staggers from reality to reality on its moronic mission.
You have been listening to the Battery-Operated Magic Toupee, the podcast. It was performed and was written and produced by Elliot Stein. Copyright 2025, Gargoyle Entertainment. Thank you for listening. That was a sample of an episode of the Battery-Operated Magic Toupee, the podcast. Please click on subscribe and like and all the other cool and generous buttons that are on whatever site you just listened to this on. That helps us a lot, and we really appreciate it. What you just heard was a sample, a taster. And if you like the taste, come listen to the whole podcast on Spotify, Apple, and other cool podcast platforms. And if you really liked it, really liked it, come be a member, a paid subscriber on the Battery-Operated Magic Toupee, the podcast Patreon page for the complete uncut episodes and lots of other cool shit. Each episode takes 2 solid weeks to create and lots of resources to produce. It costs money, and we rely on the generosity of our members to keep the comedy going. And you can visit our webpage at BOMT.UK or Battery-Operated Magic Toupee.UK. And don't forget to tune in to the next thrilling episode of the Battery-Operated Magic Toupee, the podcast.
Toodles!